I'm now in a like wide plie. Just a little leg update for you. Alright, so lately in a lot of my videos I've been wearing some form of like soft glam kind of makeup, whatever you want to call it. I'm here to show you how I've been doing it, recreate using a bunch of my favorite products and just techniques I've been doing lately. I love the soft glam look. I love the like outer corner lifted lash kind of look. I just think there's something so pretty about it, and especially for like bridal makeup, if you need some ideas for bridal makeup or your bridesmaid or just event, whatever, or every day if you just like to glam it up. Hey, this is for you. So hope you guys enjoy this video and find it helpful. I'm gonna have everything I used today listed down below in the description box. Here we go. Every time I wear my hair like this, I just think of my dad because he calls me Bam Bam every time I have my hair up like this. So here you go, Dad. Also, is Bam Bam crooked? Because it might be. All right, so starting off with what I put underneath my makeup pretty much every single time I do my makeup. You guys have seen me use this now in what, like probably 20 videos at least. This portion of the video is sponsored by Goodall, which I'm so excited about because I use this literally every day. And I actually worked with them now like 8 months ago, I think it was. And since then you've seen me mention this in my skincare routine. Like this is now like such a core holy grail product to me for underneath makeup, for skincare. We'll get into it, but like this is just my guys. My favorite holy grail product from them at this point is the Vitamin C Dark Spot Serum by Goodall. This is a Korean brand, 3 ingredients. You get 1 fluid ounce of product in here. So I'm gonna have a link down below where you can get this on sale. But I remember when I first was looking at this, like before I had gotten it, I was looking at the Amazon reviews and people were just mentioning how many bottles they had repurchased of this and like how it had truly changed their skin. And now I get it. Okay, this is my, what is this? I think this is my 3rd bottle now. And this is one of those products that I truly notice a difference. There was actually a gap for like a couple weeks where I'd used up my last bottle and then I didn't have it in my life, and my skin, I can just see a difference in the clarity, the brightness. My redness is so much less when I'm like consistently using this. And you guys also comment. It's so wild because you can tell on video. I always get comments about my skin and like what I'm doing when I'm like consistently using this. This is my skin right now. Okay, this is my skin with nothing on it. Literally nothing. I woke up, I rinsed off my face with water, and literally this is it. You can see like the glow. This is a vitamin C serum. So the goal with vitamin C is to reduce redness, to brighten, to help with scarring, prevent sunspots, dark spots, hyperpigmentation. Not only is this guy way more affordable than a lot of other vitamin C serums on the market, and especially when it's on sale right now, this is super gentle, safe for all skin types, and the primary main ingredient that does the brightening is actually green tangerine. So it's made with real fruit, which is so wild. Green tangerines are packed with 10 times more vitamin C than lemons. It also has 4% niacinamide and 2% arbutin. Goodall sources clean, safe ingredients. You can use this, okay, this is key with vitamin C. You can use this morning or night. Either one. I use it both, but I love it underneath makeup. Like I love it in the morning. I do use it at night too with moisturizer. It just like depends on the day. This like preps your skin so nicely because it does have a gel finish, not like greasy, it's not slippery. It gives you like a little stick for underneath makeup. Primers go on well over top. I've never had it pill on me or anything. Gives your skin just the most beautiful, fresh, just like dewy finish without it being slippery or anything. Packaging is also made with 60% post-consumer recycled glass, and there's no metal pump, so it just makes for easier recycling afterwards. So I'll have this link down below where you can pick it up on sale. Now's the time to grab it, so it'll be linked down below in the description box. So going in with my favorite blurring primer, this is by L'Oreal. So this one I don't like to put all over my face. I like to only use it as like a targeted pore blurring primer. So around my nose, and I like really press this in, like you wanna get it in there, get it in those pores, ladies and gents. I'm loving this nail color. I feel like I just want to forever have like neon pastel green nails. I like the forehead glow. This does mattify, by the way, a little bit, this primer. I like the forehead glow, so I'm not going to put this like all over my forehead, but just right between my eyebrows. Smooth it out a bit. So for this look, as far as foundation, I feel like finish-wise, satin finish looks the best, or like satin glowy. Definitely not matte, in my opinion, because I feel like with soft glam, you want it to still look like a little, I don't want to say natural because we're not going for like a natural look, but you want it to look like your skin, and I feel like satin finish usually looks like the most skin-like. So anyways, I'm going to try mixing these two foundations today to try and achieve like the finish and coverage that I want. I haven't tried mixing these before, but it's the NYX Born to Glow and the Neutrogena Matte CC Cream. The Neutrogena CC Cream is actually full coverage. It has quite a bit of coverage. It can look like there's a very specific way I like to apply this. This will be in my next foundation updates video. I am still testing it, but I'm gonna mix these two together today since I love the NYX. This is beautiful on its own. I mean, you could just go in with this on its own. Shade-wise, this shade I have, nude, is too light for the tanner situation right now. So I'm just gonna do like a squirt of each here. This is my favorite Amazon sponge, incredible. It has a flat side. Whenever I use a flat-sided sponge, I just feel like my foundation looks better and doesn't take away as much of the coverage for some reason. This is dampened today. I use it both dampened and dry, this sponge, but today I dampened it because anytime I use the Neutrogena one, I do like to use a dampened sponge. Any video I've filmed in this location, I'm getting such a leg workout in because I am in full squat for like the 2 hours that it takes me to film a video. Okay, those two together are looking pretty nice, I will say. I'm literally putting on sneakers right now. That's how much of a workout this is. Please hold. You might be wondering, why don't you sit down? It's all about the heights, okay, the filming heights here. Oh my God, that's life-changing. Okay, got shoes on. I've been really liking this brow gel. I feel like I looked the other day when I was linking it, it had like very mixed reviews. I didn't read why, but the reviews were like not amazing, I don't know why. But the Maybelline Express Brow, I use the shade medium brown. It is definitely more holding than some of my other brow gels, but for me, I don't feel it. Like, it doesn't feel uncomfortable, and it has two different sides here. I like the amount of color. I feel like it does a good job of holding without feeling really gluey on the brows. Here's with, here's without. I do scrape off like quite a bit before I go in though. And then anytime I use a brow gel, I'll let it dry down for probably like a minute before going in with brow pencil, at least. Usually I'll do this, then I'll go in with my like cream contour or concealer or whatever, and then come back to the brows. So that's what we're doing. In the meantime, I'm gonna go in with concealer. This is the Milk Makeup Concealer in the shade 11C. You need a tiny amount. It doesn't crease badly on me. I get full coverage if I leave it on. Like, what I like to do is just do a small amount like that, and then leave it on for usually about a minute. I wanna say like 30 seconds to a minute. If you want really good coverage, let it sit. Let it like dry down for a minute, and then you'll go in and blend. This is like the perfect concealer brush. I'll have a link down below. I'm now in a like wide plie. Just a little leg update for you. As that's setting in a little bit, I'm gonna start the brows. This is the Joa Brow Pencil, great drugstore option. And I've been doing my brows bolder for what, the last like couple of years now, I feel like, year and a half. And I do bring it in a bit too. This brow always turns out better. Why? Couldn't tell you. The spoolie is key, folks. You gotta spoolie through. It's what like softens it and blends it all together. Okay, one brow down. Now I'm gonna go in and blend. Excuse me, can you unbrighten? I like to just tap this. By the way, that NYX foundation, pretty sure is being discontinued. It is very cheap on Amazon right now. It goes down to like $6. Definitely recommend picking this up. I did a full review on it in my last foundation video, but great for mixing, great on its own. Beautiful, long lasting. Okay, raised you up a little bit, and that was the best choice I've ever made in my entire life. I feel like one of the most underrated cream bronzers of all time, Half Caked Morning View. The shade of this is perfection. I mean, I've hit pan on this, clearly. The shade is beautiful. It has like a dewy kind of finish, and it is more tacky to the touch than like some other bronzers, but I feel like it stays on pretty well, and I just love the tone. It's hard to find a tone like this, and it's affordable. You can also get this on Amazon. So I'm just kind of stamping it in the hollows of my cheeks, or like a little above. Gives such a nice bronzy shade, but still sculpts. Like, it is just a nice neutral. It's not like a warm bronzer. It just has like a nice sandy kind of undertone where it definitely sculpts, definitely does a little chiseling, contouring, but it's not gray at all. I'm going to take the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Powder Foundation. I like just using this as a finishing powder, or I do like it on its own as a actual powder foundation. This is the shade 2N22, which is a little dark for me, so I like it for like right now. If I mix my foundation a little light, if I feel like I need a little warmth on my face. Clearly I don't use the pad in here. I could probably just take that out. I just use it with my favorite powder brush. So soft, applies powder perfectly. I don't need a ton of color right now. Like, looking at my neck, I feel like it's pretty close. It looks a little lighter on camera, but I am gonna just powder my forehead a little bit. Warm it up. This powder is a beautiful finish. I feel like it actually looks a bit satin. It always depends on what you put underneath and over top, but even when I'm wearing it on its own as a powder foundation, I feel like for the most part I get a satin finish, and then after a couple hours, like, the glow comes through. So I don't think it looks like too matte. It definitely doesn't look cakey. It just has like a beautiful skin-like kind of finish, which is perfect for the look we're going for too. Don't do what I just did. I was totally spacing out. Do your powder after your cream blush. I don't know what I was just thinking. Forgot about cream blush. This is one of my favorites for this kind of look. It just gives the most beautiful freaking color. It's the Dream Pop Charlotte Tilbury Matte Liquid Blush. The Dream Pop looks like it's gonna be too dark on me. I just use a dot and it blends out beautifully. I'm a little scared because I just powdered. We'll hope this doesn't create like a weird texture with that powder over top. Do I want to risk it or do I just want to go in with the powder blush? I want to. We're doing it. Tip I have with these, because it can explode everywhere if you forget to twist off the thing, what I do is just first go in with whatever's on the tip if there's just still some, but squeeze out a tiny bit, just a tiny bit, and then lock it right away. Like before you even put it on your face. Please work, please work. Okay, blending out fine on top of that powder. Hallelujah, praise be. It's gonna look intense off the bat, this color, but don't worry, it will all come together. And I've been bringing my blush pretty high. I love the super blushed look lately. I think it's just very flattering, very springy. I was gonna say springy summery, but like I've been doing it all winter, so I don't know. Like I said, we're gonna blend. Love the color, it's long lasting. Okay, so then what I like to do to blend and like tone it down a bit is just go in with the same, whatever you used for your foundation, sponge, brush, whatever, just go in and go over top, especially like the edges I like to do this with, and it just kind of tones it down, gives it a more natural finish, blends it. Okay, glad I know that now you can actually apply this blush over powder and it won't do weird things. That's actually really, really rare for me. We survived. Setting the under eyes. So what I do is I take this brush, it's ColourPop F24. I'm pretty sure they still make it. It's not intended to be like a powder brush at all, but I just find it's the perfect like density and size for how I've been using under eye powder lately. I love the Essence powder. This is a powder foundation, but I love it for underneath my eyes in the shade 05 Classic Vanilla. It adds such a beautiful, like matte, soft, slightly blurred finish. But what I do is I don't take it all the way in. For the last, I don't even know how many months now, I haven't been powdering my like inner corner. And I feel like when I do that, it just looks more fresh because it's not set. It has that like radiance still from the concealer, but also it just really helps with the creasing. And I start out like by the outer corner of my eyebrow basically, and then go down at like an angle, and I basically just bring it halfway. That way you have like the lifting from like the light color of the powder, auto exposure. But if you're using a lighter shade, this kind of like lifts nicely, creates that like lifted effect while setting, and it still makes you look nice and fresh on the inner corner. This same powder I'm going to take around my pores and kind of also blend just the edges of that blush. I'm doing this really lightly, like barely any powder on right now, but I just want to kind of fade that blush in so it's less stark, mattify around my pores a little bit, and like slightly blur so you can see the difference. See how much softer it looks right there? And I'm doing a light, like barely any kind of tap when I do that. You probably don't even need to tap, honestly. You could just use like whatever's left over. For this kind of look, I feel like this product is key. It's the Haus Labs Rose Quartz. This just adds the most beautiful, like ethereal, glow from within, pinky, goddessy kind of glow. I don't know how else to explain it. It just does something, and it makes it all come together with like the blush, and then I'm gonna add something else over top. It just really gives you that like ethereal kind of look. If you're going like the bridal route or wedding makeup route, whether you're bridesmaids, bride, whatever, this is, I feel like, a key bridal product here. So just going in, apply it like you normally would a highlighter. If you have textured skin, this is so beautiful. It doesn't like cling weird to texture, doesn't emphasize it, just lays on top of the skin so nicely. Love this. Of course, the refrigerator is deciding to make a shit ton of noise right now. I've never heard it do this. Oh my god, it's so pretty. There we go. Thank you, fridge. Whatever's left over on my brush, I'm going to take down the bridge of my nose. I like the like rosy nose, you know, pinkish kind of look. Do like to take whatever's left over on the old highlighter brush there. Optional step. If you really want to take it to the next level with the glow, with like the pink, add the RMS Pomegranate Fizz over top, like after a highlighter. It just like blends it all together. I might do it at the end, but I feel like right now I'm good on the blush and the cheek, but once I do the rest of my makeup, I might add this at the end, but this is friggin' stunning. All right, we're going in for the eyes. So for eye primer, I use the Laura Mercier Caviar Eye Stick and Vanilla Kiss. This is technically a like cream shadow, but because of that, I feel like it's a great base for makeup, for eyeshadow. And I love the Vanilla Kiss shade, just gives like a nice brightness. Okay, so for soft glam, I feel like 80% of it is probably the eyes, because you want something a little smoky, a little like sultry, but ultimately just like really soft and diffused. So using the Wet n Wild Always Naked palette, love the tones. I just use this like almost every day. I think the tones are stunning, the formulas. A couple of the shimmers are like, meh, like I never use this glitter shade, but for the most part, they're beautiful. This goes on sale for like around $8-9 on Amazon. So normally I put this shade in the crease. I'm gonna mix this one in a bit too, because I do want it slightly warm. I don't want it to be like cool toned. That first shade isn't cool toned, but it's definitely like a little more neutral. So as far as the crease, we want it to be just like really soft. Like I'm not gonna add any darker browns in the crease. I feel like with Soft Glam, most of the definition comes from like close to the lash line. These two shades right here are both so pretty. I usually start with this one and then go in with a little bit of this over top on the lid, and it gives that like soft metallic look where it's not too much, it's not too metallic. The darker one is more of a bronzy shade, but not too warm, the one I'm going in with right now, and I like to just take it on my finger and press on the lid. And then the other one has more of like a neutral, semi-cool tone look, so I like blending them. And now going in with that lighter one over top. This shade is so pretty. Oh, look at that. And I'm bringing this one closer to my inner corner, kind of like as far in as I can get with my finger. We're gonna use a brush after, but I'm keeping the bronze mostly on like the outer half, and then this one focused more towards the inner, but also just kind of bringing it over top a little bit to blend. So now with the shimmery white shade in the palette, this is such a beautiful inner corner shade. Looks so nice and brightens and has like the perfect amount of sheen. I'm gonna take it on a brush though. I don't wet it, but I just press it in. This one is more kind of soft. It's a softer powder. So press it in and then tap it off a little bit. And I like to keep the brush like pretty flat, and basically I'm gonna start at my inner corner and then bring it like up and create this like kind of line right here, like soft line. But this just makes your eyes look bigger, brightens it. Here's the one where I did that, here's without. Okay, optional step, if you want that like just extra sheen on your lid, and especially if this is like your bridal makeup or whatever, I would take the Kaja Moon Crystal. This is in 02 Luminary. This is a liquid shadow. You need the tiniest amount. You can really, you know, put more on and get like an intense metallic, but for this look, I like to just do like the smallest dot and just kind of like blend it right over top, and it just gives this like extra level of sheen on the lid. So lids are just like very fresh. We got the sheen, nothing crazy. This I feel like is key. Brown liner or brown shadow or both. For this, I'm going to use the deeper brown shades in this palette, but if you're going to like an event and you need your makeup to stay on pretty long, I would say definitely put a base down of a brown liner first, because that'll make the shadows like stay on longer and stick better. But I'm going to take this brown right here on a flat liner brush. You basically just want to create like a very soft lifted kind of eye and like a slight wing, but mostly just, you'll see it kind of lifts the eye. If you want to look a little more open, don't bring it like this far in, just keep it really like on the outer half. We can see the difference in this eye versus this eye, just like the shape. Now I'm gonna take the warmer brown shade right here, and we're gonna blend just like a little bit just in between that dark brown shade and then the rest of the shadow. We're not done with shadow on the lower lash line, but for my waterline, I like to just take a cream liner. This is Trade Loose. This just brightens up your eyes so much and like makes them look more open. Here's with, here's without. Taking this shade again, blending that on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna use the flat liner brush and apply a little bit of darker shadow to the lower lash line. But for this look, because we want it to be really lifted and really soft, I'm literally only gonna be applying it to about like right here, not any further in. If you bring it any further in, it's just gonna give a different look to the eyes. So I'm gonna take that same darkest brown liner for shadow and just like stamp it on, and you're gonna kind of like connect it to where the kind of soft wing ends. And I'm actually not gonna be blending this further. I'm just kind of using it like a little liner there. Going back in with the shimmery white shade on the very tip of the brush, I'm gonna put this right on my lower inner corner. If you bring the brown too far in, one thing you can do is take that same lid color I just popped a little bit right over top in the middle, because I just wanted it to be a little more open and less smoky, like right at the middle of my eye, and that also just like makes it look more open. So I just went right over top and just kind of added a little pop of the shimmery shade right there. It's crazy how like small things like that with eye makeup make such a difference, you know? Okay, I just paused to change the batteries and I was like, you know, checking out the eye makeup and stuff. And this eye looks so different today than this eye. And I've noticed that the past few days, I feel like my right eye has just been like really droopy. I don't know if it's just because I've been migraining a lot or what, but my right eye is definitely like droopier and like smaller. So I'm trying to like lift the brow a little bit more with pencil to make it look a little more lifted. Okay, anyways, lashes will help with that. I'm testing this mascara, the Amy Collet. So far I've only used it once so far when I'm filming this. But so far I did like it. I am gonna be putting on some interesting lashes to try, but first I'm gonna do mascara and I'm gonna do like a full mascara application because you'll see the kind of lashes we're using. This is a drier formula and it's interesting. It gives that like soft, fluttery look on the first coat. So if you're someone who just likes that really natural, soft lash look, you would probably like this with just like one light coat, but you can really build this up. And yesterday I did pretty much like 3 coats and it looked really nice. It has just like a cone shaped normal kind of applicator. And with this kind of look, I like to really like focus on the outer lashes because that's what's going to give the look of like longer elongated eyes and just like a little bit more lifted. So even as you're doing the mascara, you can like kind of bring it out like this rather than going up. You can kind of like go like that. Okay, so that's pretty much one coat right there. Okay, going in for number 2, coat number 2. Okay, here's 2 coats of this mascara. Before I do the rest of the eyes with the lashes, we're gonna do lips. I swatched 3 of my go-to lip pencils so you can see the difference. Here's Tarte Mauve, Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut, and then Anywhere Caffeine. So today I'm gonna go in with Wherever Walnut. I like to just overline the top a bit, and then on the bottom I don't like fully fill in my lips. Okay, then I take my finger and just like blur out that line on the inside. Kind of softens it. Okay, we have so many options as far as lip color because this is basically like the everyday kind of lip I do. My most reached for by far is CoverGirl Clean Fresh Yummy Gloss. This is in the shade But First to Cosmo. This is incredible. It gives you like the most beautiful plump sheen pink kind of lip. I've also been really liking Makeup by Mario Pink Glow. This is a lighter pink color. It's more pigmented than the CoverGirl, but it gives like this really pretty, juicy, light pink kind of lip, like more baby doll pink. I would say if you're doing this as a bridal makeup, CoverGirl Vinyl Vow in the shade Toasted Grill, I think is like the most beautiful wedding kind of shade. This is more nudie. These other ones are more pink. And then over top of pretty much anything, just on like the center, I've been liking to put the Fenty Sweet Matte Gloss. This gives like a really pretty light pink reflect. This with this over top for a wedding. Ooh. So if you want to do the pink option, here you go. I love that this has a huge applicator. This is what I have in my purse like at all times. Just friggin' love it. I'm gonna do a tiny bit of the Fenty right in the center. And I like to bring it right on the top. It like gives the appearance of being a little more plump if you put the reflect like right at the top. Lashes with this kind of look, I feel like really make it come together, even if you just add a couple little ones on the outer just to really like lift the eyes. So that's what I'm hoping we're gonna get from these bad boys. I have not tried these before, but I've been hearing really good things and I'm so curious. So basically these are like, they're supposed to give like the lash extension kind of look. They're just press-on falsies, no glue needed. You actually place it underneath your lash. So you don't put it on the waterline, but you cling it to your actual natural lash. And it says they can stay on 24 hours. I mean, I wouldn't like sleep in these, but I'm hoping these are gonna be like a quick, good, everyday kind of just outer corner lash where you just literally pop 1 or 2 on. So I picked up 2 different ones. There's natural and voluminous, and I think they also had a third that was like in between the 2. So looking at them next to each other, the voluminous look pretty long. Like, I don't know if those are gonna work for my eyes. I'm definitely gonna start with the natural one. Self Stick says they're pre-bonded clusters that provide instant lash extension look with 24-hour hold. So within each set, you get a medium and a long. You get a little tool. I feel like it makes most sense to start on your outermost lash and put the long one there, but I don't know if the long is gonna be too long on my eyes. I did see someone applying these and they said to take there's like a little sticky clear thing when you pull it out of the container, and they said to take that off. Okay, so I have the long one gripped here, the clear sticky thing is off. So you wanna stick it to your actual lashes, not the waterline. Okay, whoa, gripped right on there, like it stuck to my lash, and then I'm just pinching it. I think it's easier to pinch together with your fingers personally than the tool. Feels like it's friggin' on there. The style is definitely very curled. Still looks good. I'm gonna take the medium length and pop it right under. I'm gonna try the voluminous medium and see what it looks like. I think it's easier just pull them out of here with your fingers. They literally just grip right on and I cannot feel it. All right, you guys, this might be a game changer. These are like comfortable. I can't feel it. It just stuck right on. Okay, this side feels like just the angle feels harder to me. Okay, I think it will take a little getting used to because that one I definitely placed too low. Like I can feel this one and it's like, I feel like it's on my waterline a little bit. Okay, got a new lash, attempt number 2 on this side. The angle for me on this side is so much harder, but like with anything, I think there's probably just like a learning curve, but I think I got it. Okay, it definitely takes a little getting used to, but there is some major potential for these. I feel like once I get the hang of it, that would take me like maybe, you know, a minute or 2 to just like pop on. You definitely have to get the placement right. I do think, at least on this side for me, the tool was easier, but you have to, yeah, make sure you don't get on the waterline and just place it right on your natural lash and then really press it together at the base with this thing. I think they're on there. They feel comfortable. They don't seem to be moving, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of lower lash mascara. No, I just dug into this with my friggin' nail. That makes such a difference. I just did a little bit of MAC extended play on the lower lashes. I'm gonna tightline with one of my favorite black liners. This usually really pulls it together, so I think I'm gonna do this and then leave the lashes. I'm tempted to add some more, but I don't want it to get too overboard. This is so hard to do on camera because I have to go use another mirror, so BRB after I tightline. I'm just gonna add a little powder bronzer to my forehead. All right, so this is the final soft glam makeup look. Let me know what you think down below. I'm gonna have everything I used today listed down below in the description box, along with the good old vitamin C serum, which is currently on sale. You can find it on Amazon. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.